Hello, I'm EG, and this is Crocheting with EG, and in this video I have a yarn haul from Hobby Lobby, what else is new, and then a couple thrifty things, and I did sort of make something, but it wasn't successful at all, but whatever, I did try to make something with some yarn, and then I do have something else yarn related, and a new camera came. I'm not going to use this camera yet, but because I wanted to show it on camera, so I'm using my old camera to show the new one, but whatever. So it's just sort of like one of my variegated videos, but I'll start with all the yarn. But it was one of their shipment days. It was the first shipment day after Thanksgiving, and so I went to Hobby Lobby, and it was like one of those days where I walked in, like they had way more boxes. It must have been like a double shipment day or something. They just had boxes everywhere, and so they didn't have the yarn done yet, and so I knew that it would be a while, and I was almost like afraid that the yarn, they had so much stuff to do that the yarn would be sitting in a cart and they would just like clearance it the next day, and I would miss out on most of it. And so, not that I need it, but you know what I'm saying. It's so much fun walking in there and seeing all that yarn, and no one's going to be discounted and all that kind of stuff, and then getting it, but whatever. So I went in there, and they were just like working around. So I left and I went to other places, and I'll get to all that like thrifty stuff later. No, I did find something in Hobby Lobby when I did go in there, because while they were working over there putting all the yarn on the shelves, I did walk by the remnants, and I did find this thing. It's a little piece of, I didn't even know they had this, but it looks like granny squares, and it's like they call it trim, but it's just a little strip of, it looks like granny squares. It looks like I'm sure it was made on a machine or something, but it looks like it was made with cross-stitching thread or embroidery floss, or like what. But it's really cool. I mean, they're granny squares, but I just thought it was kind of really cool. This was $2.03 for this like tiny little strip, but I thought this was kind of cool. And so when I got it home, I was thinking, I wonder if I could use. I mean, I'm not crazy about making granny squares, but like if this is something kind of like novelty that I could use as like decoration in this room, because there are a couple areas on my wall and over there too, where like the bottom of one of those shelves has this big strip of wood there. Like it might be kind of cool to put a strip of this there, or like a strip of this around these like white shelves here, to decorate this white part, like around the bottom, or like this shelf over here. There's like a piece of wood down here at the bottom, like to put something there, but I didn't know how expensive this was, and so I went into Hobby Lobby the next time I went after I got this. I looked over there, and because I thought like I didn't know where this was, and it was where like all the ribbons and stuff were, or no, like the ribbons are on the other side, and then the other side of that aisle is where you can get like fringe and all that kind of stuff, and that's where this was, and it was, let's see, $6.99 a yard, which is ridiculous. Like I would never spend, because like I was measuring, because how many yards would I need for because I knew that you'd have to get it by the yard, and so I measured from here to there, and then around these like white things, and then that shelf over there, and I would need 6 yards, and so I was thinking that's $42. There's no way I would, as cool as that would look, I would never spend $42. So I do have this little strip to put somewhere in here, but I don't have enough to like decorate the room like I would like to. I can always make little tiny granny squares. I was thinking it might be kind of cool, because I do want to use those 6 colors for the about to say what it was for, or what it means, like those 6 colors for the 6 color bookmark. I like make little tiny granny squares, but even that yarn it's medium 4-weight yarn, and so if I do rounds where like 6 rounds, that they're going to be way too big to create. Like 6 rounds of a granny square would be too big to decorate, but I'm thinking about like doing something like that, kind of decorating the areas in this room with something. I just don't know what it will be, and it would be kind of cool to kind of incorporate those 6 colors, just because of how important they are for something in the future. But whatever. But I did find this. It's really cool and interesting. I don't know. It'll go on this shelf or somewhere in here. I don't know where I'll put it, but it's kind of cool. But I would. It's $6.99. God. Oh, and then when I was looking on their website to see if they had any other kind of things like this, when I was looking in the trim, like in the store, I saw that they had the it looks like rainbow. I'm sure it's not Pride related, but like has like, it's this strip of like I don't think it's elastic. It's just like the strip of like trim or whatever, and it has like all 6 colors. And I thought like, what is this doing in Hobby Lobby? But so I saw that was kind of cool. But I didn't buy any of it. But then when I was looking on their website, I was looking. I was thinking like, what was the price? I forgot where the price was. But when I was looking on the website, I noticed that when they display it on their website, I'm sure this is just coincidental. They have it flipped, and so it's like, you know, instead of like red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple, it's like, you know, purple, blue, green. It's like, you know, in reverse, coincidentally, but whatever. So that's just like a funny thing. But they do have this on their website. They don't have any other kinds, but I just thought this was kind of cool if you like granny squares or like anything kind of crochet related. But it is expensive, God. But I'm sure it's not hand crocheted. I'm sure it's like a machine. Somehow they did it on a machine, but still, it's expensive. But at least I got a little strip for only $2. But I'll do something with it. But anyway, back to the shipment day. So I went back in there after I went to, you know, other places and got this stuff here. I went back in there and or no, the first time I went through there, I was walking through there when I like walked past the remnants when I found that granny square trend, and I was like walking through there because there was some yarn in a cart and I wanted to get a shot of it, or at least like a peek at it. I knew that they were so busy. I knew that I probably wouldn't be able to get a shot with my phone, but I thought like maybe I can at least, you know, go by and like take a peek, and then if there's like nobody right there, I could try to whip out my phone and take a picture of it, because I always like to, when they're piling up a cart, I always like to take a picture of it just so I can see it later, and like if it is something where I have to wait a while to get the yarn, I want to be able to like look at it and like zoom in and think, oh, I really like that one and get me more excited. Like, because if I zoom in and it's just like a bunch of white, or, you know, just like neutral colors, or it's not going to be, I won't have the sense of urgency to go over there to like, you know, try to time it right where I can, you know, get first dibs at it. But I didn't get a shot of the cart, because like when I was walking over there, that woman that clearanced the yarn for me that one week, she was like walking out of one of the aisles, and we sort of like, she was like right there, and I said, oh excuse me, and I just like kept walking, so I didn't even get a good clear shot of like the cart, because it was over here, but I just thought it threw me off so much that, like, she was right there, and I didn't want her to see me like, you know, staring at the cart, like know while I was over there. I hope. And like know why I was over there. I just wanted to kind of like act like I was looking around. So I think I'm like so slick, because she knows exactly why I'm in there. I'm sure. But she saw me, and so like later on when I went back in there and they had the yarn, in my head I thought, oh, she saw that I was in there, so that's what made her clearance the yarn, even though it has nothing to do with me. But she probably in my head thought, oh he's walking around in here, so you know, he's probably going to come back and he's probably going to want the yarn, so I'll clearance it today instead of like, you know, clearancing it the next day. It's all made up in my head. She probably did it you know, after she put the yarn away and stuff, and it happened to be the same day, and I went back over there and there it was. But still, I'm always going to think that, you know, she did it. She wanted to make sure that it was clearance, because she saw my, you know, ridiculous ass walking through there, you know, again. There he is again, whatever, looking for yarn, and so I did get the yarn. So I went back, you know, later on in the evening. Now, I came home and I drank coffee or whatever and had dinner, and gave them time to, you know, put all that yarn away and stuff, and clearance the yarn, and then I went back out, and then there it all was in the remnants when I walked in, and so I did get the yarn, and so it was a lot of really nice. I don't know where my receipt is. I used to put my receipt in here, but I don't know how many skeins it is. You can count it up while you watch my ridiculous ass go through it. But anyway, a Yarn Bee Soft Secret in the color light denim, and I don't have this color. Like, again, it's so weird how many times I've gotten yarn in there, and you would think I would have every freaking skein that they make in Hobby Lobby, all the yarn that I get, and all the clearance and stuff. I mean, I do get multiple, let's say multiple copies, multiple skeins of the same color sometimes, but like for the most part, it's like, you know, at least 50% of it is usually like yarns that I've never gotten before. Like, how many freaking yarns do they have in there? It would be really fun to, I wouldn't do this probably because I'd have to buy it 30% off. No, but it would be fun to go through my stash sometime. I need to do that anyway. And figure out like all the yarns that they have that I don't have. And then, or at least like the medium force and stuff. And then like, you know, go on this challenge. Like at tax time or whatever, I get my refund and I think, okay, it'll cost like maybe $150, or probably even less than that, to get like all the medium fours that I don't have. It would be funny to like know that I have every single one of their medium four colorways in my room, and how ridiculous that image would be. I'm not gonna do that because I have to buy it 30% off. But if I keep finding a yarn like this at 30%, I mean at 75% off, and all these clearance deals, I may end up with every single freaking colorway. So one I haven't already, but so. Yarn Bee Soft Secret Light Denim, but I don't have this color. It's really like a light blue, like a light denim blue, or not, or I guess like a faded jean color. But this is $1.24. And this is, I love this yarn print and the colorway Scarlet Rose. And it's one of those heathered yarns. It has like, it's a burgundy color and then kind of like an ivory color mixed with each other. And it's a really nice colorway, Scarlet Rose. Although it's more of a burgundy color than, and like even the strand wrapped around it isn't really a rose color. It's more of like a tannish, kind of ivory-ish color. But that's what that was, $1.24. I'm sure all of the medium 4s are. This is a chunky yarn. I love this chunky. And then the colorway is heathered French lilac. Although it doesn't really look heathered to me. It just looks like, well, I guess barely. Like if you split it apart a little bit, it has like some dark shade and some light shade of that lilac purple, but not as much as like a heathered thing like this. But it does have, I guess it does have 2 shades in there, but it's real subtle. But it's a real pretty kind of a light purple color. You can see the heathered look in the camera a lot better than in person, so that's kind of weird. Especially since this is an old camera. But no, it is a sort of heather, but a chunky yarn. That was $1.24. Another one of these like striped heather looking yarns. I love this yarn print and the color Black Marble. I've gotten that before. It's like white and black mixed or around each other. Really interesting. This would, I bet if I crocheted something up with this, it would almost remind you of like TV, or if you're young, then you don't know what I'm talking about. But it would remind you of like TV static, like from the olden days when you used to watch TV and there would be like static on the screen. Now it's just like all the like a glitch and then it says black. But no, but like in the olden days before everything was all digital, like TV static. I bet that would make like I should remember that and use this because I have like so many. I do love television and movies and I have all kinds of DVDs and stuff. I should make something that kind of reminds me of TV static for like something in my ridiculous collections and all that. Some kind of doily or something, or some kind of runner or something that would go with like the aesthetic of like one of my DVD shelves or like whatever, because it does sort of remind you of like TV static, but whatever. So that was $1.24. And then one of these like really nice skeins, Yarn Be Simply Flawless. It's that anti-pilling yarn, and low pill acrylic, or I guess it's not anti-pilling. Is low pill acrylic the same as anti-pilling? I don't know if it's like low pill is a little not as good as anti-pilling. I don't know, but it's one of those skeins. A regular $6.99. Got it for $1.74. But really gorgeous, like a green color. The color olive. And so like an olive green color. It is thinner than like a medium 4, or it's a light 3, so that's why. But it's really soft. It has that same kind of anti-pilling yarn feel. And I do have some of these. I don't know if I have all these colors, but I think I do have another one of these, and I'm so glad that I got another one because I love this color. I really love that olive green. But so I got one of those, and I guess it's so expensive because usually those anti-pilling skeins or the low pill fiber skeins or whatever, they're usually smaller. And so to get like I mean it's actually bigger than the medium 4 weight yarn. So to get a big skein like this, even though it's a solid, I guess it would be more expensive to because of whatever they do to make it anti-pilling. But $1.74 for that. Well, they had another skein of that fundamental cotton, Yarn Be Fundamental Cotton, and even though it does feel a little odd, I was going to leave this, but then I thought it is that gorgeous green color, and so if there's any more of this in the future, I may not get it, but I did want to get it because of this green, and I did look up what the like mercerized cotton is, and it's where they take cotton yarn and they whatever they do to it, it makes it extra shiny, and it also makes it where it'll hold dye better. And I guess like the way they like mercerized cotton is better than like the regular kind of cotton yarn. So it's a little bit better. It does feel a little bit better than the Crafter's Secret cotton, but and the twist is really good in this. I mean, it feels like it's not going to split like that Crafter's Secret cotton does, but it does feel. It doesn't feel as nice as like the. I was about to say, do I have one in here? No, it doesn't feel as nice as the I love this cotton that was easy for me to work with, but it's still a little odd feeling. But I did want to get it just because it's gorgeous green color, and knowing that it's probably isn't going to split. Like this was cut off. This is the end, and it's not even like usually it's frayed. Like even this see, this is like the end of the anti-pilling yarn. Like this looks like it's gonna split like worse than this cotton does. Like this is where the end is, and it's not even frayed at all. So I'm really glad that this seems to be like a yarn that won't catch and won't split too much. But but this was a regular $5.49, and it was $1.37. But I only got it just because of the color. But if I see any more of this, I may not get it, because I would prefer to get the, I love this cotton, but you know, I couldn't resist this gorgeous color, so I did get that. And variegated skein. I love this yarn print and the colorway Herb Garden. Really gorgeous mix of blues and teals and greens. And did I get it? Have I gotten an Herb Garden in the medium 4? I know I've gotten an Herb Garden in that chunky, kind of like this. I love this chunky, but I can't remember if I got. I'm sure I have an Herb Garden in the medium 4. I'm not really sure. Who cares? God. Let me just get on with this probably going to be a ridiculously long video, but it's gorgeous colors of you know, different shades of blue and green, and a little bit of a purpley blue in there too. But $1.24 for that. And then another one of these heathered yarn. This is a little messed up. No wonder this was clearance, but it's perfectly good yarn. I love this yarn print and the color Blueberry Buckle. That doesn't sound familiar to me, but I do read a lot of ridiculous colorway names, so I don't know. I may have gotten this before. This is like a really gorgeous, like deep dark blue. This feels like this should be, you know, blue jean blue. Because even the mix of colors, it's like a dark denim blue, and then like a lighter, not even like, or not like a light blue, but like a lighter shade of a dark blue in there mixed in. But this feels like I'm sure I grew up with Jinkos with this same look, this same exact, you know, mix of blue. I probably had on like heathered jeans in my Jinkos, whatever. But Blueberry Buckle is the colorway. The $1.24 for that. Really nice and a little messed up, but who cares? And then this one, I love this yarn print and the color Brushstroke Blue. I knew I was going to mess it up eventually. I got it right in the video where I said I was going to mess it up, but then I didn't, and then now here, Brushstroke Breeze. So all these, it's like a heathered yarn, and it has sort of an orangey, peachy gold in it, and some like bluish grays, and just like this kind of interesting colorway. That's how it works up. I should, every time they show pictures, I should show what it looks like worked up. I could at least do that instead of going through. I never go through like, and this how many meters and yards, and it recommends this hooker. I never do that kind of stuff, but I should at least show the picture sometimes if they have it on the skein, but I don't even do that. It's just because it gets so damn much yarn, but whatever. And so another variegated, I love this yarn print and the color Instant Classic. And this is a yarn, this one feels better than the one that I worked with. I used this colorway in, I think I used it in my throw blanket or something. I used this Instant Classic. It's a gorgeous colorway, but the skein that I had gotten was like, it was extra thin for some reason. This feels more significant than the skein that I worked with a long time ago, but I'm glad that this is better quality than that other skein that I had. But it was kind of frustrating working with that yarn. But this one is better. So it's not like the colorway is that way. It was just like that skein of yarn, particular skein of yarn. But Instant Classic, and so it has like some dark blue, and then some sort of dark fuchsia, and some orange, and kind of a goldish orange, and a little bit of white in there, and purple, and a really interesting colorway. It looks really good on this camera. And then they had, I love this yarn, like a solid color, the color Spa, which I've gotten. That's sort of like Spa wall green, you know, really light, kind of a creamy green. It's really like a very, very light sage color. It's a really pretty color called Spa. That was $1.24 too. I keep saying, you know, oh, $1.24, but maybe in the future they're going to go up on the price. So that's why I keep noticing the prices, because I'm hoping that this isn't going to go up on price at all, but I'm not really sure, but it may. And then I got another one of those yarn. I laugh every time I say it, the Yarn Bee Breathe Deep, just because that joke, you know, about like, yeah, when the yarn used to smell like cinnamon. Doesn't smell like cinnamon, thank goodness. But whatever, Yarn Bee Breathe Deep, and super bulky, and the color Winter White, really gorgeous white color, and really this yarn is so soft, and I can't believe how the yarn is. It feels like a strip of like really soft material. I don't know, but I have so much of this, but there's no way, like I've said, there's no way I'm going to use a 9mm crochet hook with this, but I'm going to use some kind of crochet hook with this and make something with all these Breathe Deep. But I'm really looking forward to working this yarn up sometime. I mean, I'm like getting it perfect. I'm like, you know, holding up this skein where it's like, you know, it looks like a freaking octopus or whatever, and then I'm like going like this, like, who cares? God. But it's a really soft, really interesting yarn. And so I got one of those. See, regular price $12.99 for this. God, it's expensive. But the clearance price was $3.24. That's the only reason I would get it for that. I mean, the only time I've ever spent that much money on one skein of yarn was when I bought. I think I bought one of those big blue, that big blue skein from the Crafter's Secret, that acrylic that I got in case I didn't have enough of the Red Heart bluebell that I was using to make the 10th Kingdom bookmarks that I talked about in another video. I got some of that Crafter's Secret acrylic, which is a lot better than their cotton. God, there was like a really great skein. I was almost disappointed that I had enough of that bluebell because I wanted to use more of that that blue. But that's the only time I've ever spent that much on like one skein of yarn, I think. Because those skeins are really expensive, although it's worth it because you get a lot of yarn and it's such nice yarn to work with. But but this, like $12.99 for this, I don't know. I'm too cheap to spend that much. But I did spend. I'm sure I got the 30% off. But even if I think I didn't, because I was getting close to when I needed to have all the bookmarks done, and I actually spent full price on that big skein, I think. Which is like I think those big skeins were $11.99 or something. So, but I think that's the most I've ever spent on a skein of yarn. Like even that Ice Yarns, the Picasso Rainbow, like even that, I think it was like less than $20, but I got 3 skeins. So there's like little tiny skeins. So but I've never spent like that much on like one skein of yarn. I don't think, as cheap as I am, I don't think I have. And so but you know, I guess it would be worth it for this kind of yarn because it's really interesting. But I haven't worked it up yet. But I only spent $3.24, so that's the better price in my head. That's what I would spend on it, just because I'm so cheap. And they had Yarn Bee Soft Secret in the color French Lilac. And I don't have this color. I do have a couple shades of purple and like a pinkish purple, but I don't have this. This is kind of like it's a wonder this isn't called plum, because it kind of reminds you of like the yarns that are called plum. It's a little shinier, a little nicer shade, but it's French Lilac, although it feels like it's sort of a plum purple. And this is one of those that was $5.99 regular price, clearance to $1.49. So like the price I thought it was going up to, but it's clearanced, so I don't know, $1.49 for that. And then oh, I know that ballet thing, or Prima Ballerina. I love this yarn print and the color Prima Ballerina. I've described this a couple times, but it's that the color of like a ballet slipper, like that tannish pink, and it's like the two colors mixed with each other. It's kind of like a more tannish color, and then the pink in this is kind of like a tannish pink. So it's like Prima Ballerina. So that was $1.24 too. And then they had one of these like little anti-pilling skeins, Yarn Bee Soft and Sleek, low pill fiber, and this is $1.24. Regular price $4.99. The colorway is, I know you're not supposed to say it this way, but it looks like Melissa-ny. Because it looks like Melissa, but then with an N-I at the end. Melissa-ny, I don't know. I guess that's how you say it, Melissa-ny, but it looks like Melissa with an N-I at the end of it. But it has a white color in it, and then the colors mixed in, like these streaks, are like a really nice denim blue, and then like a goldish orange color, or a goldish yellowish orange color. Really nice, and some lighter shades of blue in there, but that really dark, vibrant blue is kind of like a denim blue. Really nice mix of colors, and I know I haven't gotten this before, so I would have messed that up. Miscellany, or Melisani, whatever. God, I can barely speak, the words I know, but whatever. And I was trying to read words that I don't know, but it looks like Melissa-ny, but whatever. Melisani, or whatever it is. A really nice colorway, whatever the name means. $1.24 for that. And they had one of these Yarn Bee Dream Spun in the color Twilight Plains, and I have another one of these. This is gorgeous. This is a little bit on the hairy side, or not hairy, but like sort of fuzzy yarn. But God, the colors in all of these Dream Spuns are just gorgeous. I wish that they had more. I mean, they have some gorgeous like medium force and stuff, but I wish that that Yarn Bee would make like regular medium 4 acrylic with these kind of colors. Like, can you imagine like a regular skein of medium 4 with this kind of color mix? Just like really vibrant blues and purples, and some green and orange, and some red, or sort of a fuchsia red, and just gorgeous. But I do have one of these, but now I have two, and thankfully, because this is just gorgeous. And the way it works up is really cool too. It kind of reminds me of, like, I mean, not exactly, but it kind of reminds, like, the look of how it is crocheted up here. It kind of reminds you of, like, the way, like when I mix a really vibrant color with black. It kind of reminds me of that. But it's really cool. Although that looks like it's knitted, but I think. Yeah, the picture looks like it's knitted, but whatever. So, but I'm gonna crochet something up with this. This would make like the most gorgeous hat. I would look ridiculous in a hat this color, but like it would be tempting to make a pretty hat with these colors and just like really gorgeous, vibrant colors. And they had I love this yarn print and the color Orange Burst. I know I've got one of these before. Really pretty shades of orange and some really vibrant pink, some blue, and some white and a little bit of brown mixed in. It is like a really nice color, like Orange Burst. And so that was $1.24. And then Paint Party. I know that one. I love the yarn print Paint Party. And this is $1.24 too. Like one of my favorite colors, colorways of theirs. I mean, I love. I think my favorite colorway is probably Candy Stick Stash, just because it has more vibrant colors. But like, this is like one of my favorite colors too. Like, I mean, even though there's like purples and stuff in this, it's really, I guess maybe the blue in this is also why I like this so much. But the blue and the purple really complement each other. And it also has like some other streaks of colors in it too. But I love their Paint Party. Like, I wanted to make a whole throw blanket out of this yarn in my EG stitch, but they didn't have enough of this Paint Party when I went to Hobby Lobby when I was getting the yarn for that. But I would love to do that sometime. Even though I have a throw blanket with my EG stitch, I would like to do like a Paint Party skein. I mean, a Paint Party throw blanket sometime, just to see like how, because the part of that blanket that has the Paint Party is gorgeous, and like the swatch that I made when I first came up with my EG stitch is gorgeous. I would love to have a whole blanket in my EG stitch with this yarn, just the entire thing with Paint Party, because I love this. So every single time I see this, I get it. And then they had the last skein, however many that was. I don't know how many this was. It was one of those Scrubology cotton, and I got this because I thought, okay, the joke in my head was, oh, I'll make like a back scratching scarf, like a funny thing, because like this is really sort of scratchy yarn, but it feels like my mom said, you can make something that you like, scratch your back with that. And so I thought, it does feel like rough, like you could use it as a back scratcher. And so I thought like that would be sort of something, because I'm not going to make like something functional, like a rag or whatever with this, because like everybody makes those. But I thought, or like those things that you can put a bar of soap in. But I thought like that would be something sort of funny to make sometime, to like use this to make like this long strip that you can, with handles that you can like scratch your back with. It feels like that. But so I did get this. It's that Scrubology cotton from Yarn Bee. Regular $4.99, got it for $1.24. The color is Front Porch. It has like yellow and blue, and some light blue and some white, and it's a really pretty color, but it feels scratchy. But I did get this thinking, okay, well, I am gonna make some funny back scratching scarves or whatever, so I'll go ahead and get this. And so when I got another one of these, I was thinking, okay, I have 4 at home, and then I have this one. And so I thought, well, what I'll do is that's the end of the haul, but I'll show what I made. But because I got that Scrubology cotton, I thought what I should do is take a skein off of my wall and try to make something with it. I was going to make that back scratching scarf. And so I started to work with that yarn, and God, it was so awful. I mean, not the feel of it. I mean, the feel of it is awful. I mean, like, not just the feel of it. It was so awful to work with. Like, trying to see the stitches was a nightmare. Trying to frog it, like when I messed up one of the stitches, because you can't really see the stitches when you're doing it very well. And I tried to frog it, and it wouldn't frog very well. It was like you had to kind of pull it. And then I was doing a stitch, and then when I was pulling it through, the yarn snapped. It's not like I went like this, or like, like the yarn actually snapped in two. And when it got to that point, and I was like, I tied it on or whatever, and then I like did another stitch, and then I tried to pull it out because it messed up, and then it just like tightened and it won't come out. I just gave up. So I'm not getting any more of that Scrubology cotton, and I'm gonna put all that Scrubology cotton with the yard sale or something. I'm not gonna get it. I regret buying all that Scrubology cotton, but I did try to make something with it, and this is what I came up. This is what I'm have. This is how far I got before I got frustrated. And I told my mom. My mom was like watching me work with this, and she thought, "Oh my God, that looks like awful to work with." And like there's that scene on Friends where Phoebe's trying to make that scarf, and then it just like gives up and says, "You know, scarf's done." I did that same thing. I said, "All right, that's it," and I said, "Scarf's done." This is as far as I got before I gave up and just got completely frustrated. But it's a nightmare to work with. I can't. I mean, yeah, I sort of got far, but like I could. There's no way I could see the stitches. Like where the hell are the V's? How the? I don't know. So obviously people use this and maybe they can see it better, or like. You can't see any of the stitches or the V's or nothing, so I don't know. But I gave up. I did get a nice scarf out of it that'll make me think of Friends every time I put it on my neck, just talk about how ridiculous it is. But I don't know what I'll do with this ridiculous piece. And if I make another yarn delier, I can put that on there, my little Phoebe scarf or whatever. But this isn't a whole skein, but there's practically a whole skein. So this one and the three other ones I have on my wall, and the one in that bag, I'm just gonna put it with the yard sale stuff and just get rid of this stuff. And I'm not getting any more of this at all. But at least I tried. I tried, but it wasn't successful at all. And the only other thing is the stuff that I got at Goodwill when because I went to Hobby Lobby and saw that they were working around with the putting the new yarn away, and so I went to Goodwill, and then I went back to Hobby Lobby just to see if they were anywhere near close to clearancing it, and they weren't. So then I went home, and then I went back, and then that's when they had the yarn. I went to Goodwill after the first time I went to Hobby Lobby, and I got a couple of just random things, and so they had this acrylic riser. This acrylic stuff is really expensive, and like I know because I've been wanting to get some of this. It's missing like one of the poles here, but I could probably fix that with something. I have that moldable plastic I can fix, but the reason why I got this is because we do collect all those little gnomes, like those ones that like this one here that's crocheting and or knitting or whatever it is. We do collect these like little gnomes and stuff. And there's a whole story. These are magical. But I'll tell you that story in the future. I want to tell you about the magic in this house. But there's all kinds of gnomes in there, and we do collect those. But they're like so like cluttered up, and some of them are like sort of behind others. And so I've always wanted to get like an acrylic riser of some kind to like put there so that I could sort of elevate some, and then have room for some underneath where you could still see through. Because I didn't want to have something that was solid where you couldn't see the ones underneath there. But it would be kind of cool to have this, and so I could put some on top of here and then some underneath, and then you could still see the ones underneath because these are clear. And so this was $2.99. I do have, I got one of those Michaels boxes last year when they like when they throw all the clearance stuff in boxes or whatever. Now that I go in Michaels so much and I know what all the clearance stuff is before it goes into those boxes, I'm not tempted to go and get one of those boxes now. But because I go in there so much that I know what's going to end up in those boxes, and so it's not like, ooh, I wonder what's going to be in the boxes. It's like, oh, I know exactly what's going to be in the boxes, and I didn't get that stuff when it was like sitting all out. But I did get one of those boxes when I first found out that they actually do those like $10 boxes or whatever, and I was going to show it in a video, but that was before I started to go off on all these tangents and stuff. But I found some really nice stuff in that box, and there was like a couple skeins of yarn in those boxes too. I think I got 2 boxes, and I got like this big acrylic sheet, and they still had some over there where the clearance stuff was. I was hoping that it would end up in boxes, but it seems like they're kind of separating out the clearance stuff. The stuff that's on the clearance shelf on the wall that should be in boxes and they can put yarn there. The stuff that's like still on that shelf, it feels like they're keeping that stuff there because they think that it's actually sellable as clearance. And then all the rest of the stuff that's kind of like sitting in the middle that is all the stuff that you throw in boxes. But it feels like they're intentionally not putting those big clearance or big acrylic sheets in boxes because they think that somebody's eventually going to buy them, even though they're expensive. I think they're like $18 clearance price or something. The last time I saw them in there. But I did want to get more like something acrylic, like acrylic sheets to display some of this stuff, especially the gnomes. And there's fairies and there's all kinds of stuff in this house. The magic in this house, you'll find out in the future. But But I do want to get like any kind of acrylic thing like this, especially this was only $2.99. You know, missing a leg, but like I can fix that. But you know, this is expensive stuff. I mean, this is like, you know, cheaper acrylic than that. That big piece I got it in that big box is like huge. That's why I get this like, acrylic stuff, because I do want to use it for that. But $2.99 for that, so it was a good deal at Goodwill. And then they had this Harry Potter 3-ring binder, and it has like the Hogwarts crest on it. This was $1.99, so I thought, you know, go with my Harry Potter stuff. It's a binder, and then it has the tab dividers even have the Hogwarts crest on it. So there's like these tab dividers in it, and there's like the red and green and like a grayish blue color. Now I'm like describing the color of like these tab dividers, like I'm describing the colorways of yarn, but whatever. And so it's really cool, this Harry Potter thing. So that'll go with my Harry Potter collection. And they had these Harry Potter sheets. It's probably for like a twin bed or whatever. I have like a twin comforter and twin sheets, and these are more twin sheets. It looks like I have a kid, like, and a backpack and a teddy bear, like one of those Build-A-Bears, and it looks like I have a child that just loves Harry Potter. No, I'm just like a ridiculous big ass kid or whatever, you know, buying all this Harry Potter stuff for myself. I don't have a damn kid. All this, I'm buying it for myself. What are you talking about? No, but these Harry Potter sheets has like the HP branded logo, like the Harry Potter logo, and how they rebranded it is like, you know, HP and things. It has Hedwig on it, and so like the regular sheet, and then like the fitted sheet. And of course I'm not going to use it. I don't have a twin bed, but I thought I'll buy this stuff because I can use this to make things with, like, sort of treat it as fabric, because I'm not going to use this as an actual fitted sheet, because I don't even, like, my niece in her playroom doesn't even have a twin bed. It's a queen bed, so I don't have a twin bed to use this on. But I thought if I sort of treat it like a piece of fabric, then, you know, I can cut like all this off or whatever, and like use it to cover things or whatever, or make like because I do have some shelves with my Harry Potter stuff on it. It'd be kind of cool where we can actually see the shelf, where I can use this for like not doilies or like runners on the shelves. If I just treat it as like fabric or whatever, just to add to the whole Harry Potter aesthetic, to and not just the stuff on the shelves, but maybe the shelves themselves. But I did get those, and the stuff in those bins, they're really cheap. I think it's like $1 a piece or something, or maybe even less than that. But the stuff in those big things is really cheap, and so I got, you know, both of those. And then they did have this statue, this mermaid thing. This is gorgeous. There's I should show it. But I got one of these at Dollar General, and not this same one, of course, but I got one similar to this, and I painted it and added glitter to her tail and stuff, and the whole magic aspect of this house. There's fairies, and there's also mermaids, and so I'll show you that mermaid that I painted. It's similar to, I'm going to probably do the same thing to this one, the way I made her scales all glittery and stuff, and painted her, but it looks like, I guess this would be like a little mini, like you put in your garden for like a little mini bird bath or something. Although it's kind of small, but she's like holding this shell, and she's sitting on a shell too, which is cool. I do have a big shell too. I'll have to show that too. But this is the mermaid. I found this at Dollar General, and I painted it, and because it was just kind of plain looking. And then my niece and I used glitter and added it to the tail of the mermaid. So there's that. And then the mermaids gave us this gorgeous shell. I mean, it's just really pretty and glittery and stuff. But that's another aspect to the mermaid stuff in this house. So I'm probably gonna take this and do the same kind of thing that I did with this one, and either paint it too, or at least add some glitter to her scales and stuff, and maybe make the shell match the big one, and but, you know, just add to the mermaid stuff that we have in this house. Glitter all over the place. It'll spread out into the world, whatever. So that's like all the Thrifty stuff. I guess the only other thing is I'll show the camera. The camera that I got on eBay came, and it's exactly like my other one, except this one's black, and the one I have is white. And this was brand new. I know that it was an open box, but this was brand new. I mean, the cords still just the way they were folded, and way they had the twist tie on it, and it had like the piece of plastic I had to pull off the screen, and like the battery is branded, and it was weird. Like, I didn't realize how old my camera was until I pushed a little button to go into the menu, and it actually clicked. Like, my button is so old that, like, it doesn't even make a clicking noise. I thought, like, God, I didn't even realize that, but it's supposed to click when you push the button. Actually, I have to kind of push my button a little hard on my old camera, and so, but this is like brand new. I know it is, and it's just like a really good deal. So $35 for this, and so this is a Samsung HMX F90. So that's the kind of camera I use, except mine's white. But I'll use this new one too. Whenever this one's on its last leg, it's practically on its last leg now. But like, it had all the cords, the manual, the box, like everything with it. It was brand new, so it was a really good deal for that. So that came. But anyway, but I guess that's all for this video. I hope you enjoyed looking at another yarn haul and all these like Thrifty things and all that kind of stuff. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. Like and subscribe, comment down below, and I'll see you in the next one.